The cane used for the Maltese known Hasira arrived in Malta during the Roman times. The Romans used the canes to protect the island from their enemies. During the Arabic times, canes were used for tents and carpets. Nowadays, the cane that we grow here in Malta is mostly used for furniture, ornaments and canopies. The Occupational Health and Safety Authority, known as the OHSA, inspects Tony's work to ensure a safety environment. It is important to wear protective clothing when doing this line of work. In fact, there are 3 types of gloves for the process of the hasira: those for welding, cutting and surgical gloves for applying the protective layer of oil. There are also the dust mask and safety goggles. The tools used for cultivating the canes are the safety boots, mowing machine and machete. Moreover, the machete knife is used for splitting the canes and removing the excess material from the cane. There are 2 types of nylon boat, one for everyday use and the other for salty environments. Example, canopies which are showcased next to beach houses. When starting the process, the first part is to check whether the cane is in good condition or not. The second part consists of bending the cane to see if they are strong enough. This will indicate if they are weak or good to be used. It is important that before the second process starts, Tony checks the cane sides and middle part in order to see if the cane has any cracks. When the canes are inspected, they are ready to be cut. The machine is set to cut according to a specific dimension so that all the canes are cut evenly. This is done according to the specifications provided by the customer. It is important to use canes from the previous years. In reality, the canes which are currently being shown throughout this video has been cut in 2018. Afterwards, the foliage of the good canes is removed. This is done by using a knife to cut down the outer layer of the cane. This makes the cane easier to work with and more aesthetically pleasing. By using a knife known as the cane machete, cane is cut and split into 2. Splitting the canes will maximize the utilization of the resource. When there are enough canes to produce the canopy, work on the actual product can finally start. A thick cane is used for both ends of the canopy for structural integrity. Canes are then hanged high and tightened into place so that the worker can start working on the canopy. They are then measured to see where the nylon bindings will need to be tied, hence marked with a pencil. The nylon, which is certified as best quality, is spaced evenly amongst the cane for both aesthetic and functional use. Nylon is used to tie up knots on the marked areas. The worker needs to make sure that there is enough nylon on each cane's end so that he will have enough to finish the product. After this process, the cane is attached to another thick piece of wood. The cane is hanged by means of a strap and held tight so that it will not hang loose. Another cane is tied at the bottom to strengthen the base, and so works on the Maltese hasira can proceed. In order to have the product supported, another type of nylon is applied. The procedure continues as canes are added on top of each other. One by one, the canes are tied onto each other with knots so as to secure the canes in place. The canes are inverted when placed on top of each other. This is because the end of the cane is thinner than its base, and therefore each cane is inverted to compensate for one another to have an even product. This step is repeated until the desired length for the canopy is achieved. The end of the canopy is then secured by another thick cane for structural integrity, and then several knots are tied to secure the canes in place. The remaining nylon is then burned with a lighter so that the nylon won't twist and open up into many tiny strands. The final process consists of having a better coating for the canopy. Tony uses linseed oil mixed with another type of chemical which cannot be named due to the Australian Canopies Associations. This is a coating which is mainly used to protect the canopy. The use of this mixture is already UV treated and it also protects the canopy from termites. Whilst looking at the advantages of the canopy is that it will be 25% cooler in the inside and one will have 35% less UV rays. Locally, the caneworks in Halsafi started all with Tony's father, Fredo Zammit. 35 years on, his son Tony Zammit has taken over and is doing his best to keep the tradition of the Maltese ħasira alive.